Hey, it's Nadrag, and welcome back to Tyranny. I must say, the last episode was very surprising to me. I expected the Kyros storyline to be the main one, like the Kyros' edict, to be the whole game. Well, not that I expected the game to be short. I expected it to to have to be really deep and all, but it seems like we're just getting started, and that's amazing. So, and come to think of it, we're just so focused on these Vendrian rebels who were a joke that somehow the two armies managed to completely go against each other, and they refuse to work together. They are slaughtering each other and refuse to even well, we just have to find out, but it's bad. Not sure how the rebels achieved this. Supposedly Takisari said that the voice of Narat helped her, and that is possible, but of course, she's not exactly a reliable source. She might have just said that with her last breath to, I don't know, stir some shit. But it seems like this pathetic rebellion managed to turn the two armies against each other, and it's bad. Or maybe good. Who knows? But it definitely looks bad. And we're here in our possibly well, it's a penthouse in a tower. So it's a really sweet place. Could use some walls, you know. I wouldn't mind some walls. That would be certainly an improvement. Not sure what this means. Seems like it has some significance. Maybe this is a portal device, and it opens up portals. Like we can pick up waypoints of sort. But I believe that this time we should talk a little bit with Ebb. How do we do it? Yep, like that.
Salutations, Fatebinder. Or should I now call you Lord of Vendrian's Well? The Spire King? Prince of the suggestive vertical slab.
I like you already. Yeah. Oh, come on. I want to be the prince of the suggestive vertical slab. Or the Spire King. Yeah, call me Solo, that's fine.
So if I might ask, what is your plan now? The edict no longer looms overhead, and Kairos' conquest of the tiers seems to be slipping. What with the armies in civil war?
That's a good question. I guess I can't say no idea. Improvising, that's my plan. Yeah, we should really speak with Tunan. Destroyed the Scarlet Chorus? That's a bit harsh. Wow, the disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus? None of your concern. Guess we should really speak to Tunan. Yeah, I prefer to hear your mind on the matter. I'm improvising. Any suggestions?
My first suggestion would be to build a boat. Something durable, and take our chances on the high seas far from Kairos.
Well, I would actually take your advice. If this was a game, well, if this is a game with heroes, then then we can't do that because we have to kick the bad guys' ass. But we are the bad guys here, so I can't really escape from the bad guys. But reasonable suggestion. We take it under advisement.
I have a second and more practical suggestion. Look to the horizon and slightly up. By that I mean the other spires. We should see what's atop the others. Otherwise someone else might look first.
That's all I need to know. That's definitely not all I need to know. I confused the hell out of me. What do you know about the spires anyway?
Not nearly enough, apparently. To me, they've always been axioms of navigation. You can triangulate a lot of things with the sextant and a clear view to a spire or two.
Yeah, I use that in Minecraft. I'm not really a Minecraft person, but building a huge pillar certainly helps you navigate.
We've long known the spires radiate strong magical fields, and all save the mountain spire connect to the old walls. So it's the sort of thing common folk know from afar, but avoid day to day.
I guess we really should speak to Tunon. So,
I would counsel you to do just that. I'm sure the events of Vendrian's Well are best explained from your mouth to Tunon's ears. Furthermore, I'd guess the Archon of Justice would want to know your take on the Archons and their divide.
by the way, I don't plan on exhausting all the speech options anymore, at least less so than in the past. To really instead of just seeing everything I can, if I can get away with it, I just wanna concentrate on playing how I wanna play. So yeah, we're definitely not gonna ask about destroying the Scarlet Chorus and the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus. That's not really. That's all I have for now. I mean, that is reasonable. We heard about her suggestion, and yeah, Tudon seems like the reasonable choice. If that somehow doesn't happen, yeah, then we need to reconsider and have a new plan.
Well, short of Tunon giving you orders on pain of death, you have the luxury of acting on your own volition. Though the Scarlet Chorus are likely to come for you.
I guess. Not really sure why they should. They hate me that much?
Whatever you decide, I'm at your disposal.
That is good to know. Don't overdo it. Maybe a little thanks would suffice. That is just unnecessary. Have a moment, let's speak further.
What is it you need?
We should discuss matters at hand.
Well, we're working with the Disfavored. You want my advice? My advice would be to get close to Graven Ash and plunge a poisoned shiv in his ear.
Are you kidding me? Well, you know what? I like that. You know? She speaks her mind. Graven Ash is not here. Or is Iron Marshal Araños? Well, that was a dumb thing to say. If that is Iron Marshal. Why? Okay. Poison shiv in his ear. Again, it was discussed. I don't think Graven Ash is that bad of a leader. I mean, like, some questioned his ability to lead, but I don't question his ability to inspire. And he got the entire army behind his back. That's not that easy to pull off. Having every single person support you. Yeah, Graven Ash is my ally. I want her to take such treachery. I want her to be able to speak her mind, but to an extent.
I will never understand why deceit is the first instinct of all Tearsmen. You are right to take offense.
Oh, come on, Barrick. Yeah, that was a little extreme. You could have just said that, hey, I don't really trust Graven Ash. Maybe instead of just suggesting to kill him without really backing it up.
Yeah, right. I'm speaking out of line. But I don't really know what to say here. I hate the Disfavored, but I'm sworn to your cause, so my honest opinion won't do anyone any good.
But I do appreciate you giving your honest opinion. Just considering that we are working with the Disfavored, you might wanna, you know, just tone it down a little bit. You know, just like the Scarlet Chorus does it. You know, they talk shit about Graven Ash all day long, but they don't suggest killing him. Let's have some other questions. How about that? Oh boy. She likes talking. I don't need to talk about magic. I don't need to talk about... I wanna learn about her. No, I'm not here to gab or flirt or whatever else is on your mind. If you have orders, that's one thing. But I don't want to discuss folks I've lost or other such things. Not with you. Wonder if there's an option to build to have romance in this game. Doubt it, seriously doubt it, but it would be interesting if done right. It wasn't a suggestion. Oh, come on. I'm sorry. I'm well aware, but I've nothing to talk about. The life I had is gone, and the life I have now is, well, my service to you. Everything else is best forgotten. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I have some questions. Sorry about that. She's scared as hell. I don't really want to talk about anything else right now. Talk shit about Terraco. Nah, we don't want that. Ooh. Loyalty ability. Hey, Iron Marshal.
Right.
So let's run around. Hey, Lantry.
At least in theory, I'm supposed to be observing history and not getting myself wrapped into it. All the same, this is the thrill of a lifetime. Rarely does one stand so close to monumental moments in the making. If given the choice between a multifaceted hive mind of treachery and a surly old soldier, General Grumps is the wiser choice. It's patently obvious which Archon is truly loyal to Kairos. So, I must ask, are you planning on taking sides in the Civil War? Or do you have other plans?
Well, I was always on the side of order, so I would try to make peace. I was the peace binder, no? Something like that. No. Yeah. I mean, like, I would either... I don't know. Maybe I will take sides. But I would prefer to not take sides and just... just sit around here. In my penthouse. Okay. I'll just say that, but that is a really non-answer. But let's just say that. I'm a servant of the Archon of Justice. That much has not changed.
Dutifully spoken. It is Tunon's duty to arbitrate matters between the Archons, so this rift between Ash and Narat certainly falls under his jurisdiction. And here you are, thrust in the middle of the dispute. No doubt the mighty adjudicator will be relying heavily on you to get to the truth of the matter. Whatever you do next, consider that many eyes will be upon you, for you have both delivered and taken away the Overlord's edicts, and few will know how to make sense of the latter. You are an exception the Archons cannot afford to ignore. They will likely aim to control or destroy you.
Have you heard of edicts being broken before?
Most of Kairos' edicts were either worded to end in a manner of the Overlord's choosing, or the edicts have simply continued in perpetuity. That's not to say there haven't been stories of broken edicts. They're just uncommon. The oldest is, I think, Golbraith and the Edict of Sorrows, and that tale dates back to around the year 110. Aside from you, the most recent was the Edict of Twisting Grasses, back in 380. In all these stories, Kairos' edict very clearly gives its victim a single way to escape, and someone manages it. What's never happened is the pure abatement of an edict, like using a spell of warding or cancellation.
Have a moment, let's talk further. So what's on your mind? Do you want to discuss matters of the present, or would you prefer a more scholarly rant? Oh yeah. Let's discuss current matters.
Of course. How can I help?
You know about their penthouse? Know anything about the region we're in?
The spires predate us all. As far as I know, we're the only ones who've been up here since... ever? I think this might be a first. Perhaps the real trailblazer had trouble getting down and was lost to history. Of course. How can I help?
Yeah, he's taking notes about stuff we're doing. I have some questions for you. I don't want to talk shit about our teammates.
I am nothing if not a semi-reliable font of knowledge. What did you want to discuss?
Tell me about yourself. Me? Well, fine, but I'm not a very fascinating subject. I study interesting people, enough to know I'm not one of them. Yeah, let's start with that. What's your story? Tell me the origins of Lantry. Someday, someone half your age will ask you to sum up your life and realize what an odious request that is. Well, where to start? I grew up in Sunder. I was born right after independence from the realm of Starward, so yeah, do the math and you realize I'm old. In a treaty that ended with the first stipulation that Sunder chose to leave and that Starward did not lose a civil war, the Free City of Sunder marks 347 TR as its year of independence. He's pretty spry for a 84-year-old. Yeah. Okay. My parents were harbor hands, my mother never returned from a voyage, and my father lost his hand to infection and decided to send me to the School of Ink and Quills. Well, I could actually understand it. He probably couldn't have supported you, and he probably had trouble supporting himself. And this way, I assume, you were set as long as they did what they told. Did what they said you should, and yes, we need to know that information. So when they sold you, how much were you worth? 3 bronze rings? Or so I remember, not the sum. Not that the sum is burned into my mind or anything. 3 bronze rings? For Lantry? What a bargain! As a novice, I was assigned to the Dovecots, where I learned how to raise and groom birds to carry missives. Most of my early tomes are on that subject. 10 years and several tomes later, someone decided I was ready to be welcomed into the inner circle and shown the ways of magic. And since then I spent a great deal of time in field study, which I suppose readied me for life after the fall of the Vellum Citadel. Well, as much as anything could really won for the strangeness of these days. Yeah, were you born Lantry or did you take the name on joining the School of Ink and Quill? Most sages take a new name when they join the school, but for me, the transition was difficult at first. I stuck to my old commoner name and then just never got around to picking some highfalutin name like Sage Apophatis or Sage Dangling Participle. Is it through your skin? Did you always want to be Sage? I cannot imagine doing anything different. I suppose in my youngest days, a year for battle and glory like most boys I knew, having now seen how short a soldier's life can be, I look back on that old calling. that old mindset and laugh. Yeah. That is dumb as hell. So really, what's your story? What do you mean by that? Well, I know you're pretty smart. I know you're smarter than you act. Expect me the same courtesy. Well, to be fair, I'm pretty dumb. Landry stroked his beard, leaving flecks of sepia among his white whiskers. I was on the take from Voice of Nerat, or at least an agent of his sent to me to the school of Ink and Quill 30 years back. It'll be years later until I made the connection to the Archon. Most people think that war began 3 years ago, but the Voice of Nerat had his hands in things sooner than that. I was part of that early invasion, an eager kid happy to accept 30-year assignment that comes with an education. Yeah, well, that actually sounds pretty good. Also, it's a huge thing to tell me. What else you're telling me? Well, when you proclaimed the Edict of Stone, I took a bit of interest in you. In truth, I'm deeply curious about any who have lived as vessels to Curious' most supreme magic. When I heard you were proclaiming a second edict, I had to find a way for us to meet. Being tied up in a prisoner camp was not the intended plan. So, you advocating surrender to Curious was the end of your long plan? Yes and no. When I first left, I was just happy to be getting educated by the sages on someone else's rings, and my orders were simply to listen and report. As the time drew near, my commands were to win them over, a little at a time, to the notion of surrender. But I failed. The elders of the school grew defiant, and the militant minds won out. These are Tearsmen after all. I didn't deliver the surrender, and it took the Overlord's edict to end what I was sent to do. That didn't amuse me, Lantry. Thank you for telling me. No more secrets, understood? I'll endeavor to earn your trust as best as I can. Sorry to have given you reason for doubt. Let's talk about something else. How do you feel about Kiros? I've seen what tiny despots, merchant cabals, and mage guilds can inflict in the names of all sorts of righteous causes. They'll take the rule of Kiros over the tyranny of every idiot on Terratus. That is kind of my point. Kiros does extreme actions, but if it seems like the land is full of aggression, full of these full of bandits, full of warring factions, and order in the long run does seem to be the right solution. I'm not really trying to justify the Curious' actions, but it's not that bad. Come on, they're killing each other, and they blame Kiros for killing them too, so I don't know. Let's speak of something else.
I am nothing if not a semi-reliable font of knowledge. What did you want to discuss?
I think we're done here. So they say sages know all sorts of things.
I know everything, except for who's been saying that. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I don't really care about that. That's all for now. No. Talking to him made me wanna add him to the party. Maybe talk with Beric a little bit too, if he has anything new to say right now.
And so civil war divides the armies of mighty Kairos. The reckoning that comes of this failure will be great indeed. We find ourselves in the darkest times. Brothers and sisters who fought for a similar cause now skewer each other over blighted lands in the favor of distant powers.
What would you have done at Vendrian's Well?
Backing the disfavored was the only logical choice. Graven Ash is the only Archon worthy of your confidence, and you were wise to recognize as much. Naturally, I would have done the same. Whatever others might say about what happened in Vendrian's Well, you acted from instinct. I can't help but respect that.
Onward. Okay. That's kind of my... That was my reasoning as well. The disfavored had a plan, and the whole disfavored army is more trustworthy than the Scarlet Chorus one. I mean, I do recognize the value of the Scarlet Chorus, but they are not as trustworthy. And most of them are just peasants who are forced to kill their neighbors and families, and they are expected to be loyal, and they have no military training, and yeah, so, and led by, of course, the voice of Nerat. Seems like we got okay, so the browned out means there is no new conversation option, but fight means there is one, so we're gonna talk to Verse as well. Hey there, Verse.
So, the Scarlet Chorus and Disfavored are at each other's throats. Can't say I didn't see that coming, but the Archons might have waited until one war was over before they started another.
Do you think I made the right decision?
Fighting with the Disfavored. Well, not the call I would have made, but I'm sure you have your reasons. If you like iron weapons or something about that purple uniform excites you, then be my guest.
This favorite do have flaws. It seemed like the the Scarlet Chorus had a lot more wits than the disfavored. So yeah, I think they complemented each other well, and just fighting is really not gonna help Kyros.
Who can say? War is all about compromising your morals, deciding who lives and dies. What seems like a mistake turns into your greatest call down the road.
Okay.
Let me make one thing clear, just so that there aren't any misunderstandings. You support Graven Ash, and I couldn't care less. I'm here because you've done what none of the Archons could. Not even the voices of Nerat would fault me that. He's also a complete bastard, and I wouldn't want to miss an opportunity to stab him in the gut and take control of his army. So, there's that.
Glad to hear you hate your boss.
I'll say this much. Our time together is anything but dull. My blades are yours for as long as you'll have me.
Alright, let's be off. Alright, I feel good about my choice. And considering this was a little bit slower episode, I don't know who should I talk to? It feels like whatever I do next should be separated. So, this is gonna be this episode. Hope you had fun, and see you in the next one, which is gonna be a faster one, I assume. This is just a whole lot of talk. So that's it. See ya.